This is something I ain't never done before. Is gonna build a 6BR. So I've gathered up got some brass. I was able to find some bullets. I got an Action that I picked up here local. This is a Defiance Deviant GA100 short action. I'm gonna try to document this the best I can without going into too much great detail. This is not a how-to video. This is me and my journey to build this rifle is what this is. So anyhow, it's all brand new stuff. I was able to get my hands on a McMillan A5 adjustable stock. Like I said, this is a Defiance Action. It's already cut for this Remington style bottom metal and mag well deal film here. So I borrowed a reamer from a buddy of mine, and got a gauge, no-go gauge, go gauge. Got everything I think I need. Got a scope sitting over there on the table, but anyhow, so like I said, this is not a how-to video. This is just me kind of documenting my journey to build this thing, and I'm pretty excited because, man, I love these little 6mm. I've done the Dasher before. I didn't build it, but anyway, and I mean, those things are amazing too, but I just don't want to have to mess with alpha brass and then be hydroforming, fire forming, all of that mess too. And I still want to mess with it. So I was able to find some used dies, and anyway, here we go. All right, so stay tuned. Well, of course, when I had everything laid out, I forgot to show y'all the barrel, but because I already had it tricked up in here and it's already indicated, and I'm not gonna take it out and lose everything that I've worked on for the last hour to get it indicated. But I use this indicator here. This one goes up in, and you indicate as far as you can reach up into here, and then you get this part, and then you indicate on that part, and you're working on the actual trueness of the barrel. So it's within a couple tenths right now, working off of the land. So I'm going to go in and pre-bore it, because if you don't pre-bore it, then you're going to be here for dang sure all night trying to you start off right here with the reamer, and then so now basically I'm going to just face off the end, come in here, cut the threads, because I've already got the blueprint of the Action over there. So anyhow, so yeah, do the outside first, and then pre-bore and start chambering. Anyhow, be right back. All right, so I've already got the tenon cut down. Got my little old trusty gauge here. I've already went and made a cut across there and made sure that my 16 threads per inch is lined up. I got the shoulder cut, which really don't do anything. And then I got a thread relief cut. Got that faced off. So I'll make a couple of cuts here right quick. Not doing anything real heavy. I'm pretty slow at this. I don't really take too big of cuts. The way I look at it, I just don't really know that I'm in much of a hurry. Not like I have somebody that this is, you know, they're waiting on this, so. I can't build nothing for nobody else anyway till my FFL comes in, so. You back it off, come out, go back to zero with your cross slide, you turn your compound in just a little bit. Now we wait on the half nut to come around. This is an even thread, so it'll start on anything, any line, doesn't matter. Not like cutting one of them crazy metric threads. But anyway, it's going to take a little bit. I'll be back here shortly. Hold on. Well, there it is, screwed on. So you come off about a turn or so, and you kind of give it a little bit of a wiggle. There's a little tiny bit of a wiggle, but I think I want just a little bit more. That way, if for some reason that shoulder's not straight, then there's some slack in those threads, and it'll allow it to butt up against that shoulder straight. You know, like if the receiver is a little bit wonky or something, the threads in the receiver or something. So all right, so yep, another thousandth. We'll see what happens. All right, well, let's see how this one goes. Got a little more slack now. All right. Plus, I've got a little bit more cleanup to do on the threads, so that ought to open it up pretty good. So as you can tell, I mean, it's pretty. This dang old lathe that I picked up, it's pretty nice. Cuts pretty good. I've done a few other of my guns so far. Haven't had any issues. Everything seems to shoot pretty good so far. So this is number three or four. I don't remember. Anyway, so what I got to do now is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to clean these up a little bit more, burnish it, you know, good, and I'm going to put a dial indicator on the other end of the barrel and find the high spot, mark it, and then that way I can come back and time the action so that the up sweep is facing up on the barrel and it's not turning left or turning right and you have issues there. So anyway, let me get that figured out and I'll be back. Well, I'm going to kind of show you an idea of what I'm talking about. I don't know if you can see the dial indicator down here. And the action is snug right there. So that thing would essentially be shooting to the right, you know. What you want, if you can see, you can roll the barrel around, see the dial indicator over here. There's the low point right there, which is basically the opposite side over here. So you roll it over here, there's the high spot right there. So basically what you want is you want the action to be sitting right there in the high spot. You know, I mean, you can have a little bit of variance, but Right there's the high spot. So what I gotta do is now I'm gonna take and mark it over here. Then I'm gonna mark it over here. So then you come around and you tighten it. So I gotta face off that shoulder there enough to come back so the top of the action is lined up with that mark. So anyhow, let me get that part done. All right, you can see there, that's pretty close. Now you got to remember that I still got to torque it down to 100 foot-pounds, and that's just by hand, but there shouldn't be very little crush. So the arrow is pointing to about right here. So anywhere between 11 and 1, and you're all right. It was all the way completely out 90 degrees. So I do want to clarify something right quick before people chime in and freak out about, oh my God, there's no way that thing was indicated in. And you know, you had 20 thousandths run out on the end of the barrel. Well, yeah, I did, but I'm only indicating this much of the barrel because I only want the bullet to be straight with the bore. What it does after that, I can't, you can't control that. So you just want, this much of it indicated, and that's where it's at now. So I'm going to finish up these threads and then come in here and do a pre-bore, pre-drill kind of deal, so you don't do the whole thing with a reamer. And anyhow, and I'll kind of show a little video of the indicating process on what I'm talking about, because I indicate inside, not out here. I indicate inside. So anyhow, I'm going to try to film this the best I can. So right now we are out on what you would call the whip end. So there's 3 6/10 over land, comes back 3 6.5 over land, comes back 3 7/10 over land and comes back 3 6/10 or so. So there's 1/10 of an inch. I know it looks crazy bouncing around, but you just got to look back where it comes down to the lowest, so it's in the bottom of the lands. You can rock it back and forth, and so then you come on in deeper down in there towards this end in here. Now you watch where it's on the low point, 3 6/10. Low points 3 1/2, 3 6/10, 3 about 7/10 if I can get it. Yeah, about 3 7, maybe 3 8/10. There it is. So I mean, we're coaxially, we're only indicating this much of the barrel because that's all we want to be straight. And you come over here and then spin it around, and you got 30 thousandths run out. So, that's why you want to make sure the barrel's pointing up when you get the action put on. So, anyhow, so that's pre-bored. We come out here, get on the end where it's pre-bored. Just curious to see what that is. There's about 1/2 thousandth out, which that's fine because I bored it. Now I'm going to go back in and bore just a little bit more out, and that way when the reamer goes in, it's straight with the lands. Because if you take, see, the go gauge won't go in yet. It's close. So anyhow, all right, I'll be back. Well, fast forward about an hour, and I got her done. That's the go gauge. Come on now. That's the no-go gauge. Won't even begin to start. So anyhow, so now all I have left is to go in and rough up that chamber a little bit with some 320 and kind of clean off the back, and we're good to go. See there, man, that's like perfect right there. Got a little bit of room for it to line up. So, all right, cool. Yeah, before I take it out, where you can kind of see here. Ain't no slack. That sucker's snug as a bug. So, that one turned out good. Well, got her done. There's the crown. That's 11 degrees. Like I said, you know, just doing all this myself, I'm learning. But you can see there ain't no, that's smooth. There ain't no fuzzies coming off of there. So I guess now it's time to get the old stock up here and get it all bedded to the stock. Get her put together. Thought I'd kind of show everybody the tenon here and that chamfer. That's a real small chamfer, and it all came out pretty nice. There's some crap in the threads, looks like, still. I'll have to try to clean all that off, but anyway, it all machined up pretty good, so I'm pretty pleased. Well, you know, because the government's crazy, you gotta go and you know, mark things so they can read it too, I guess. But I got me one of these little laser deals here, and it seems to work all right. Pretty cool. All right, well, so we got a lot of got some sanding to do on here. This stock was built for an MTU contour, and this one is a heavy varmint. So anyhow, looks like there's gonna be several hours of sanding. So anyhow, well, I didn't do any video on the process of putting the bed in, but I did finally get the channel sanded out, you know, so I don't know. Let's see if it'll come apart. We'll see. Hey, well, that's positive. Yeah. No big old chunks still in the action. I will say that one worked out pretty good. Try to get you a little closer look. So all of this up here, I'm gonna chip it out, get it out of there, because it doesn't need to be there in front of the bolt lug. But there's a little spot right there that come up. God dang it. Just a little bit of cleanup work right there, and it all looks pretty good back here. All right. Party time. Well, all right, I got it cleaned up. Pretty good. Got all that chipped away out there in the front. That little bolt The recoil lug pocket looks pretty good. And there's just that daggone little spot right there, man. You know, I don't know how to fix that. Unless I just go back in with a little bitty tiny dab and just hit that spot. So I know that pillar come through there, but you can't feel it. So anyhow, I think it's gonna be all right. I'd like it to be kind of buried a little bit, but well. This for me, I'm just trying to learn how to do all this stuff. So let's just kind of see how it fits. This is the part that's kind of nerve-wracking. Pretty snug. How about that? Dig it. Just got to work on the old mag well a little bit. But cool. Alright, well, button a few other things up. Let it set a little longer, let that epoxy dry a little bit more. We're good. Alright, I got this all this is all torqued down now. So now it's time to put the trigger in and basically final assembly. This is a Jewel bench rest, because the other trigger I got a little ordered for it, had to come in. It's got a safety on it. Anyway, so I was gonna say, if anybody from Jewel is watching this video, or if the president of Jewel is watching this video, I'd like you to know that y'all need to fire the quality control guy, because some of these things are really good, some of them are garbage. This one is garbage. So anyway, just thought I'd tell you that. It's got a lot of creep that you can't get out. Son of a bitch. Alright, so this is a Jewel trigger. See if you can't get this thing put in. Sometimes they can be a little cranky. this video. Anybody that's important anyway. You need to go down and fire the damn quality control guy. Just saying. Every other one that I've done, every other one, no kidding, is a piece of shit. And this one is no different. It's got a lot of creep. And the creep feels like you're dragging it across a damn county road. Anyway, enough about that. It is what it is, I guess. Boom. Alright. Okay. Alright, well, I guess now we're ready to put the stock on it. This is kind of what you get excited about. Well, for me anyway. It's that final assembly. So you got, see how it rocks? The pivot point of that rock is right there at the bolt lug. So that means that there's clearance here. It's one way to test your whether or not you got plenty of barrel channel clearance. Now for this pain in the ass. It's going to go about 55 inch-pounds. I've had this scope on a few other guns. So. Yep, plenty of clearance.